I'm gonna call for roll call.
Call the meeting.
Call the meeting to order, and then also call for a roll call. Erzberger here.
Walsh here.
Anderson here.
Schmidt here.
Strahler here.
Thank you. Now we'll move to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have the May 15th Parks and Trail meeting agenda. Is there any amendments or updates to the agenda the group would like to make?
Move to approve the agenda as listed.
A second.
All right.
Ask for a vote.
All right. As for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. All right, on to meeting minutes. We have meeting minutes from April 17th. Any comments or updates that this group would like to make to those?
I didn't see anything.
They look accurate and fair to me.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you. On to the open forum. This is a chance for anyone to, members to address the commission. It's not on the agenda. And we'll move on to the presentations.
I do just want to note for the record, as we're recording, unfortunately, we are not able to get onto Zoom, so this meeting is only going to be viewable after the fact. Those that wanted to be in attendance could have been, but we have no one in the audience, therefore no open forum. Now, all right, so there is really one agenda item that I need your guys' feedback on tonight. It is about city park site features. We have gone through a few different options of what benches and preferences and things of that nature that the commission has. Taking that, the previous feedback were benches that were 8 feet long, two-tone finish, and preferably with armrests. Below are going to be the two bench options that we've kind of gone out and quoted for with HKGI. On the left is the Dumore Bench 98. You can see that it does have that middle armrest as well. We'll talk a little bit more about that because I do have feedback from Commissioner Nybo and Chair Christensen as well that I'll share with the commission once we get there. There's also the Dumore Bench 131, which is going to be on the right. Doesn't necessarily have to be in green, but that's the other option. As far as picnic tables go, you'll note table 71 kind of matches that first bench as well. And then table 72 is more of the traditional, just classic metal look. Still composite, still kind of that two-tone finish that we're looking for with benches, so we assume that's still run true with picnic tables. And then finally, bike rack options. So the one on the left may look incredibly familiar. That's the one that went in at Wildflower Park. So that's what you guys have previously chosen. The other one is the Dumore bike rack. It comes in two different sizes, so that's the 3-wave versus, if you look right, the Burke one is a little bit larger. Flexibility in that. So, moving on to feedback and preferences from those that were not able to attend tonight. Chair Christensen said that the Dumore Bench 98, so that one with the black armrests and the armrests in the middle, was the preference for him. He originally had noted, maybe we don't want that armrest in the middle, but upon further thought, he said, it allows for extra armrest and separation between visitors, which, in complete transparency, I hadn't thought about it that way, but if you have two groups of people that want to use that bench, this provides kind of that space between. It also can prevent skateboards from grinding on it, which I learned today. So he said black or solid metal finish is preferred. And then he also preferred table 71, which was going to be that one with the black legs. And he said it matches bench 98 with a good wood tone, metal finish, general shape. He prefers the longer tables if it doesn't dominate the setting, so very mindful of that. And then as far as the bike rack goes, he really didn't have a true preference. He said match the other stuff and try and maximize the space or the size of the bike rack without overburdening the space. So again, just being mindful of like how it appears in the space that it is. I also got to speak with Commissioner Nybo about her preferences. She said she preferred the Dumore Bench 98 as well. She did say the armrest may not allow for as many visitors to sit at a time, so we kind of have both ends of that spectrum. I think it's about a horse apiece, depending on what people prefer. She also preferred table 71 with the note that there is more knee space under that one, and it blends better with the space. If you look at, we can go back to some of these too and get a better look at it, where these comments might make a little more sense. She also preferred the Dumore bike rack in speaking with her, but she did have some concerns with chipping paint and bike locks kind of hitting them, and so like, would it make more sense to have the metal one? I think that is a very good point, and truthfully, I don't have an answer for that. So I can bounce back. These are the benches, so as I said, they both preferred this one, and they both preferred this one, and if you look, you can kind of see that this metal one has, well, I suppose they both have supports, but this one seems to go a little lower, so it's harder to, and then not a true preference necessarily either way on this. And to be fair, this bike rack can also come in different colors, so it's all about preferences. That's all I've got to say. So if you guys have any big feelings on any of them, we can start with benches.
So I was sitting with some other people in a room which had a variety of seating, and I learned that the shorter people really prefer benches or chairs where their feet can touch the ground and where they're not so deep that if you're going to slide all the way back, you have to lift your feet up like a little kid. Do you know if there is a substantial difference in the fit of either of those benches?
I do not. I will say it looks, just based on appearance, it does appear that the 98 does go a little deeper back. It seems like it's got more of a slant to it, and it goes upwards. As a short person, I understand that struggle. My foot is currently resting on the leg of the chair. I think you could also counter it if someone was tall. Having their knees to their chest might be a bigger problem than someone's feet not touching. I don't know. It's kind of, you got it both ways, right?
It is true.
But if there is a preference, I mean, what would be the cutoff then for that? See, that's the other thing, is what do we deem as quote unquote short?
I think either is fine.
But
I think I agree with Phil that 98 is, I think that middle armrest is good.
You like the armrest?
I think you're more likely to have two people who may not know each other sit on the bench at the same time versus one that's more open. People tend to be a little shy in that way. I will say bench 131 does have that kind of beveled edge, which might be nice, a little softer on the, call it bottom of the legs or what have you when you're sitting.
Yeah, it looks more comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
the 131, but I think aesthetically the 98 does look nicer. Especially if we're going with the picnic table that matches. Perhaps.
Do we want to jump
So-
forward to picnic table? Or do you have more? And we can bounce back and forth if there are.
There isn't like a big cost difference, right? They're chosen because they're kind of equivalent.
Maybe you could enlighten us on the skateboard.
On the skateboarding, so the children's, the youths of the world, like to grind along the bench. Do people skateboard anymore?
I
Oh, yeah.
feel like kids don't barely do anything outside anymore.
I will say this, is it a problem here? No, not currently, to my knowledge.
But
Would
once we
it
get
become
Could
a
be.
problem now that we're gonna have
a parking lot,
paved
Park.
trails?
Yep.
Sure.
That's, I mean, it's more of like a proactive thought, I think. But I wasn't even the one who thought of it.
Yeah, I would challenge if it's even a problem to have them skateboard and grind on it. I don't know that that's,
It will deteriorate the bench at a much faster rate. I've seen granite downtown that kids grind on, and there's chunks taken out of it from the, what is it, trucks of the skateboard?
well, if they're here and they're skateboarding and need a place to skateboard, that's a good
Then
sign
maybe-
for us to provide them a
A
better
ramp.
option to do that, rather than like prevent them from enjoying skateboarding everywhere, but that's my opinion of it. I like both of them too. I think the right one looks more comfortable, but the left one probably across the park looks nicer.
And I agree, I think keeping things uniform with the black finish, especially considering that's sort of the design of, at least that we've had so far, of the park building itself. It would all tie in well.
So we're leaning towards, it sounds like, bench 98.
Yep.
Let me clarify though, I assume, it's a very heavy assumption, but I'm assuming we can get that middle armrest taken out if you guys would prefer that. But it sounds like maybe we're leaning towards we like the middle one. And to be fair, now looking at it, I still think kids could skateboard on it, so please don't encourage them, but like. All right, so keep the armrest though? Okay.
Mhm.
Picnic table. Sounds like we're preferring table 71 based on the feedback of all black, or,
In 72, I just see me hitting my knees under there in that crossbar. Was the first
That
thing I
lower
thought
support
of.
bar.
Yeah, so,
it's a good way to test your reflexes.
yeah,
Okay, so 71 then?
Yep.
Sounds good?
So the benches are fixed in location?
Yes.
Okay, so they'll be looks like they gotta be bolted in. Looks like the picnic tables move, can be
Yes.
backed up.
And that was, I mean, the ones at the park currently, benches are embedded into the ground, and then our picnic tables are still movable. Otherwise, we couldn't move them for the garden club for the tree giveaway.
That's right.
And then bike rack options,
Is there any price difference?
not, no.
Like nothing if we go with Demore for everything, we don't get, like a bulk discount or anything like that?
Probably not. I think we're already trying to go through the state contract pricing, so there's already a discount. But if you decide to go with the Demore bike rack, I can certainly ask our consultant to further investigate.
Does anyone remember if like our lighting fixtures were black first? I'm trying to remember what the other things around that area are gonna be. I'd have to pull it back up and remember.
Well, the building, to Commissioner Walsh's point, is the black ash. We eliminated the bollard lights. The Cobra lights in the parking lot, I would assume are gonna be of a dark color, probably a black or a dark gray charcoal.
Okay.
There's no black on the playground. Trails are gonna be asphalt or bituminous,
Mm.
so also black.
Mhm.
But then the concrete will be concrete color gray.
So, the Burke bike rack is larger.
Can be, so there's the
Okay.
125 and the 130, that's what so the 125
Gotcha.
is smaller, 130 is bigger for the Demore.
I mean,
It's a bike rack.
yeah.
I mean, the
I
point
guess
of the paint chipping, wouldn't have even thought of that. That is a good point, but
Are they
I feel
painted
the
or powder
paint is-
coated?
Is it a
I was gonna
powder
say, I
coat?
feel the
If
paint
it's a powder
is-
coat, it
It's
won't
generally
pretty
powder
durable.
coated
chip
and
very easy.
you
Yeah,
can usually sandblast it and repaint it if you need to.
Right.
yeah,
Um,
it's a good point, but
I get it. it's a maintenance addition, but if it's built to last, I think we would be fine.
Oh, what I thought. It'd be better to match with the
I
other
think
things.
black.
I think
Mhm.
black also tends to blend in a little bit more. You can look through it
Yeah.
a little easier. It might be nice to
That's
not have
kind of an
something
eyesore.
bright and standing out.
Good point.
So it sounds like, and I just want to summarize, Demore bench 98, table 71, and Demore bike rack either 125 or 130, the bigger one of the two. Sounds good. I mean, if you guys wanted to make a motion, that would probably be easiest, but
Okay.
if anyone wants
We're looking for a motion to,
I will make that motion to, for bench 98, table 71, and bike rack 125 south.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. Recommendation made.
Oh, just, I was at the watershed meeting yesterday, and the park enhancement remaster came through the watershed commission, and things are quite good. Things are looking good. Watershed commission would make sure that you're not increasing the rate of flow water offsite, that it's not gonna increase the amount of pollutants that are dragged in. And because it's got those,
stormwater ponds.
thank you, stormwater ponds, it all looks really good. They had to present it with two different options, with the full parking lot pavement and with the half parking lot pavement. That was the only.
Was there a significant difference in?
Oh, yeah. But both, the ponds are basically oversized, and so it doesn't matter.
There won't be a
It's
capacity.
still well within capacity.
And there was intention in that, I don't know if we had mentioned this, but as we continue to develop, the intention is that that would serve for the pickleball
Yep.
courts as well. Like, we're trying to be
pretty-
proactive, we know it's a big price tag, but it's better to do it now
Pretty clever.
to address the future needs as well, so.
All right. On to item 8, new business.
None.
Nothing. And then on to item 9, reports, information, planning project update.
And we can try and do our best to answer these. Honestly, Seth might have better answers than I do. Unfortunately, with us not being on Zoom, we're not gonna have Counselor Nichols.
I did have a couple questions. It looks like item 14 was potentially where a lot of one of the potential areas for like where the regional trail or off-road trail was going through. So it looked to me like a couple of these that were new to the list were pretty important for
They could be.
off-road trail selection for us.
Some of them are so new that I'm not sure if any of that's been even discussed yet, but I would expect that you're right. As it further develops, there will be things that come through here to decide as far as the trail goes, yep. And we'll definitely make sure to call that out, because I know that was a important topic of discussion.
Because it looked, I think 14 falls right south of the city park where we were looking to put the Diamond Lake Trail.
That's a good
Is that
call
where the
out. If I
business
can,
park was?
I'll look into
Yes.
if there's anything that I can report
Yeah.
back to early
Yeah.
too.
So, do we have the minute? Or is that?
I brought one. Like, yeah.
So, if you recall, this had previously come through the Parks and Trails Commission. It came through as Corcoran Farms Business Park, I want to say. And that has since not gone through, so it sounds like, yes, there is a Larkin Road subdivision concept plan that's coming through. It's scheduled for June 12th, which is the same meeting as the city park bid authorization or bid choosing. So I can definitely come back with more information that following meeting. I will note that as things come through, we will absolutely keep you guys in the loop, and as that trail planning is coming through, we'll be working with Three Rivers to make sure it meets their needs, to make sure that you guys like where it's at, so. If there's one thing I like, it's transparency, so I will absolutely keep you guys in the loop.
Yeah, it was just good to see some of these that look like kind of key area for us starting to come through. That would, because the 2040 plan had on the right side of that, an off-road trail drawn in.
I wonder if, I'd have to pull that. Are there other ones that we can help answer questions on?
I'll talk to planning too about Larkin Road and see if I can just send something out to them if there's any updates.
Mm-hmm.
I had one other comment. I was trying to look where some of these are, and ones like item 9, I can't look up what like PID 25 dash 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 is. So most of them have some type of address.
Can I show you how?
That would be great. I was struggling to find out
On
where
the
it's.
Hennepin County website?
Yes,
Okay, it's
yes, that's what I just had up.
tutorial
I
here.
do this,
Yeah.
I do it with my job way
All
too
right,
much.
show.
It's gonna show us how to find the PIDs.
I would love to, okay.
Find all the
So,
property owners of every house you go by.
so Hennepin County has a GIS website. It tells you the property owner,
Gee.
yeah,
What they're
so,
paying taxes.
uh-huh.
I'll email out the link to you.
Okay.
Yes, but so you can go in here and you can type in either the address or the PID. So for instance, we can use City Hall. No, I can't see, that's so far away.
That's it. That'll show you the, okay.
It brings you to the location, it shows you an outline of what is owned. It shows you who the taxpayer is, who the owner is, that can differ. The acreage, taxes, when it was sold, whole bunch of very helpful information. I think that will change your life.
You can type in just those PID numbers into
Absolutely.
that?
Yep.
Okay.
Or you can just look on the
You
map
get-
and click on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that
just put
too.
an
Well,
address
some of them
in.
I just, all of
Go all
them
the
but
way
one
down
I
the
could
street.
figure out
Oh, yeah,
where it
yeah,
was.
because they don't give,
Also, like,
they give you.
what
a
Tom's
few.
saying is you can even click surrounding and it'll,
That you can see all of them.
yeah. This thing,
It's cool.
it's pretty sweet.
It's a really cool tool, yeah.
I do it all the time.
And you can go back and look at what that looked like in history.
I like to know
You can
what's
go back
going
and
on
look to
my
see,
road.
were those woods always really there?
Mm.
And you'll find that back in the 50s, they weren't there. And so, no, that is not a historic woods.
I think it goes back to the, is it 53? No,
It
40.
depends a lot on the
40 might
location.
be the earliest
Yeah.
aerial view. I was looking
Do
at
you
Corcoran too.
remember my presentation on the progression of the park?
Yes.
This is what I use to do that.
Okay.
So you can like,
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm telling you, I think this might,
I love it.
this is the coolest tool that I think
I love it.
we've got. Like,
Yeah, wow.
it's insane. I'm
Wonderful.
so glad.
Then you
to
can
be
go to
alive
Google
this year.
Map and get a picture and.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going off of Google Maps, trying to find where it is. And then matching it onto our 2040 or 2030 plan.
No, I go
Let's
to this
make it
first.
easier for
This
ya.
is the best one.
Uh-huh.
Very cool.
So Seth will send out an email with the
Okay.
link, and then you guys can play around on it. Oh, have fun.
It'll
It's
be
fun.
in your inbox in a few minutes.
It's my kind of fun.
Me too. It's the nerdy kind
It
of
is a
fun.
wrap up the meeting so I can go and do that.
And then 7 looked interesting too, because that one was just south of like the open space park. I'm not gonna call it what we've been calling it, but the open space park.
Is that the
In
one?
the northeast.
Kind of near, geez. 12.
It has a off-road trail on the left side of it that's supposed to connect kind of the open space park area.
Yeah, it's a big project.
So it has that wetland, and then above that wetland's where the park opened.
Hmm.
Oh,
Is that County Road 30 to the south?
Yes. So this looked like another interesting one for
That
us.
is the one that's.
Because the open space park is just on the top of the screen, to the left of the water.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
right there, yeah.
So we could connect a lot more people to that park with that property. With the trail through that property.
Way to be proactive.
I'm trying to stay ahead. We got a plan. We got it.
I mean, that also might really impact, like, is there really, couple of our neighborhood parks don't have much in the way of, well, actually, the open space park, off Old Sturbridge, it's not clear that the parking in Ravinia is good for that park. So developing on the north side has to include careful access and parking. You know, so and that's the way that works. You know, not every developer has to provide the parking, but one of them does.
Yeah, it's really just yards and driveways and not
Yep.
a lot of
Not,
even
and
road.
that was maybe something we should have done differently back when Ravinia was coming in, but, you know, we were new at it, so,
Live and you learn.
live and learn. Yeah. And there'll be good parking, you know, it's.
Any other comments on the project planning updates?
Thanks for bringing that up, that was really good.
We can move on to the Parks Recreation Trails update.
All right. So, city meeting items, you'll notice that it's not labeled city council items this go around because we've had attendance at both city council and the planning commission. So on the 24th of April, we went to the city council to request authorization to bid. The project got posted shortly after that, and then is open until May, or are we in May right now? Yes, May 28th. We used to have a calendar up, let me keep all my dates right. It is open until May 28th, and then it goes back to city council on June 12th for a decision. On May 1st, though, we went to the planning commission for the site plan and variance review. They recommended approval of the site plan with variances to allow a 0-foot building side setback. So what that means, we've got 2 parcels of land. We've got the western parcel that we're really trying to redevelop. Then we've got the eastern parcel. We own both of them, but because the building is on the west parcel and there is 0 setback on that eastern parcel, we have to get a variance from ourselves to do that. And then waiving the buffer yard requirements because the Diamond Lake Regional Trail, as it meanders on that western side, there's not the buffer there that would normally be required being next to that residential area. However, there's such a heavy line of trees, and moving it anywhere else would require a much less aesthetically pleasing trail, so it was approved unanimously, 3-0. They had a couple of people missing like us. Otherwise, report updates, Garden Club, we had the tree giveaway. If you go on the north side of the building, we have a shed for the Garden Club. Yep, it's up. Park planning, we've been working through a few city meetings between the council and the planning commission, so prepping those reports, making sure that everything is accurate, working with the community development team. Our wonderful community development administrative assistant Seth here created a wonderful website for the City Park Remaster Project. We're still adding to it, but it's going to be kind of a centralized location for people to keep up to date on what's happening. Kind of helps funnel some questions as well. And then provide the feedback too. We're trying to incorporate like a document container where all of the previous presentations to city meetings will be contained as well. We've also met with the Wacker Espaseth family, if you recall. That wonderful family, I've met with them twice in the last couple of weeks, and we're working through what funding looks like, getting that See My Legacy website up and running for their portion of it. And then we're also looking at if there's an option to add a net that would be underneath the bridges per their request. As they're donating some money, we're looking at maybe adding a special feature if we can. Now, similarly with the bridges, when they couldn't move, I don't know how that's going to work with the netting, but it sounds like the playground vendor is willing to explore it with us. So, we'll see.
is the netting for safety purposes or like additional play?
Play.
Okay.
Yes. So picture the two bridges and then kind of underneath those bridges, there'd be a little netting area. A safe
Like climbing.
netting area. Yeah, kind of climbing and just like.
Mhm.
Were they, I know the dinosaur theme was their want before, what was their reaction to the?
They were really okay with it. Well, not okay, they were good with it. Like, we kind of brought it up to them. That was probably back around the time Jay started, maybe last year, when we were really looking at kind of shifting. And they were really on board with it. I think once you see the graphics, it makes more sense. Like, it's really nice looking. It's well done, I think.
Mhm.
It's not tacky.
Mm-hmm.
We also started working through the Diamond Lake Regional Trail reimbursement for portions of that. Went through park building IT needs, set up the volunteer page for Night to Night. Went to Three Rivers State of the Parks event. Commissioner Anderson went as well, award winner from Three Rivers. I spoke to Three Rivers about future collaborative planning efforts, so both for Night to Night and then potentially for future programming opportunities once we have the building and once we're getting more established in areas that we can host. City Park, lots of rentals, but it keeps raining and that's no good. But it is, because we need it, it's a drought. And then youth athletics, we've had photo night, games have started.
There's a machine pitch baseball going on when I just drove by. So.
Right now, yep, I had to cancel coach pitch because our fields could not handle the water today, but we were able to keep machine pitch going, so. If you want to go and catch the last bit of a game here, you might have the opportunity. Any questions as far as any of this is concerned?
Oh. Okay, so with that, we can move on to the subcommittee and miscellaneous reports. Garden Club report?
Garden Club's been actually working. We've had several work days out there.
They've also reached out to ask about how much mulch was previously purchased. So I provided that to them. Excuse me. I would envision that they come back in June potentially with a request. So just something to keep an eye out for.
Started playing thistle yet? It's in my gardens already.
You know, I haven't, yeah, what did we pull? No, so far, there wasn't, last time I looked, I haven't seen any in my garden yet, but I'm sure it's there. Yeah.
All right, park dedication fund. Okay.
It's a good format.
Mm-hmm. It's great.
Only thing,
Here, give me it.
some lines across.
Yeah,
Can you do
grid-
the
grid
lines?
lines.
Yes.
Grid lines? That would be the only thing.
Even just
I wasn't gonna call you out, I was just gonna take the heat on it, but
like
if
a
you wanna
subtle
own it.
gray, even. It doesn't have to be black.
Yeah.
But something.
Do you want us to print it in red?
Red and
Whatever.
green, so we can see inflows and outflows.
Whatever you're
Christmas
feeling.
in May.
Yeah.
Any updates to budget for the park itself?
Not so far, we won't have a real update until we get those bids open.
Sure.
So, talk to me May 28th at about 3 p.m. That's when we should have everything open and I should be either really happy or really sad.
And none of the grants have been.
Not yet, I haven't heard back from T-Mobile, which is the one that surprises me, but I'm hoping by the end of this month. I think they said 30 to 60 days, so we're at about 45.
So, and when's Domino's opening up?
Middle of June.
Okay.
I feel like I've actually been able to answer these questions. Keep coming.
That's quick.
Yeah, I was surprised to see how far along that
Doesn't take long.
is. Yeah.
Have they discussed any grand opening plans or anything like that?
With me, no. But we are working through the mural with them,
Yeah.
so that's one area.
We gotten a good amount of feedback on that.
We got 33 responses on the survey, which isn't bad, and that gave us the kind of vision on what would go on the mural. So now we're looking for people to submit murals, I think.
Oh.
It's not,
Is there,
I was in
like a
charge of doing a
contest?
survey.
Is there like a got forms
contest.
for that or
I-
something we could
Let's see.
pass around?
Um,
We'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get you that information and send it over. I want to say it's on the city homepage that we've got some information about it. What other questions do you guys have?
I got a Facebook post yesterday and it was like, hey Corcoran, and it showed the dominoes.
Yeah, they
It
had
says,
they ran
"Did
an
you get
ad. I
that?"
saw that too.
Yeah, did you see that? Hey,
Mhm.
Facebook. And then it's like, share it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
So it was from Domino's,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
targeted, okay.
yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
So there is a link. You can
Oh.
submit your artwork here.
Oh, good.
I was kind of surprised that June is the opening. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, it's not that long from or far from now, but they've got like everything done. I mean, it looks great over there.
I heard the whole parking lot's,
Concrete.
beautiful.
and
Fully painted and everything. They got
They got signs
They
up
got
that are
signs
running.
up. Yeah.
I saw the running signs today.
The
and I went,
register's in there. Like it's ready. I feel like it's ready to go.
fantastic.
Yeah, here it is, Domino's Pizza, County Road 50, Corcoran.
Oh, cool.
They put it on. And then they want you to share it.
Of course. They'll be
Can
popular
I
enough.
grab a
Yeah,
picture of that?
Yeah, here.
Well, especially once that new development, if that one gets approved, goes in.
Do you want,
Oh, at Larkin?
Mhm.
Is that a development?
It's 158 units, I think it said.
I think the
You're
commercial's
welcome.
up north, I think it's 14.
Or not Larkin.
I'm waiting for the
The one on the
coupons.
south of the park is 14.
198 units of 189, 189. I wrote the number.
Yeah, it was the business turned into the,
All right,
okay.
that's what I got for you guys today.
Great.
Any other business announcements from this group?
Well, I noticed that Jessica has a new tag, or a new desk, and it's something different with the name, so maybe an announcement there.
Effective April 24th or 26th, we went through a compensation and classification study where they evaluated what we do in our roles and things of that nature, and we told them what we do in our roles and kind of updated our job descriptions. They went through, graded. I am one of the people who did get a title change. So yes, my new title is the Parks and Recreation Manager. for the
Yay.
city.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Good for you.
Which is hilarious because when I was online today, I was looking at a night to night form that we had posted. It still said recreation coordinator, so that was fun. Very,
Congrats.
very dated, so
Yeah.
thank you.
That's good.
It's been fun to go part-time to full-time to now even further.
Mhm.
I'm also salary, so don't worry about meetings running late. Seth is hourly though, so we do have to.
And you're gonna graduate.
And I am graduating, I'm walking this weekend for my master's in public administration.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Good job.
It's all happening for you.
I have an extra ticket if one of you is interested in it.
All right. Well, with that, I think I'll entertain a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Passes. Thank you.